What's up, welcome back. I'm John Stark, MovieGuy.com, your favorite blind film critic, and today we're back with another Cobra Kai recap. I'm stretching this. I love my Cobra Kai. There's 2 more episodes left after this. This is season 6, episode 13. We are at the Sekai Kai, and there's I don't know. This thing is getting a lot of play on on TV. There's like this big dramatic sequence, like it's being covered like the Olympics, where they go in an interview and they talk about Miyagi-Do, and Johnny's upset because like he did this whole like hour-long interview and they used about 10 seconds of his interview. He's like, I ran in a suit for that. I, I love Johnny. Uh, so it's leading towards our first battles, basically, which is sort of like knockout, I guess, the knockout rounds or whatever of leading up to the final. I don't know what happened to the other dojo. Honestly, like conceptually, we don't really focus on that fight. If the female from Silver's dojo had to fight the female from the fourth dojo, I guess that happened. I don't know, man. For real. Like I don't know what happened. I guess we already advanced, I forgot. But this one basically is just it's one fight. So it looks like we're leading up to a lot of things, but it's basically Robbie versus the again, Silver's kid, whose name I cannot be bothered to remember because it's not gonna matter. I don't know, it's lion or something. I don't know. It's got Wolf. Somebody in here is named Wolf, I think. Um, so that's what we're building up to. But first, we have to see, Daniel's wife wearing face paint. Like she's like, it's like the Super Bowl and March Madness and the Olympics all rolled into one. And I'm like, oh my god. So we cut into a couple of other of the lower level Cobra Kai characters eating nachos. They're shown here a little bit, like Chris and I don't know the other one. I don't I don't know. I don't know what his name was. I lower level Cobra Kai characters, just like reminding you that they exist in the greater scheme of things. Um, but this film also features like Kreese's apology tour. He kind of shows up at Tori's, of course. I knew this was going to happen, by the way. I actually thought he was going to offer to coach Tori individually, but he basically just apologizes to Tori, says that the reason why he signed up in the competition was so that she could compete, but doesn't offer to do anything for her. He just like walks away. It's just like, but wait, does it have to be forever? And I'm like, come on, Tori, have some self-respect. And then I looked at it from her perspective, and it's like she doesn't have any adults in her life anymore. So to her, this one guy who was nice to her, this is how problematic relationships begin, by the way, is when you have somebody who really has no one and they're sort of grasping at straws. Her close friends used to be her enemies, and they're now her like found family, you know. So I could see why she doesn't want Kreese to like totally walk away, but Kreese is like, it has to be this way. And then like I don't know, poofs into a cloud of smoke and then drifts away. I don't know. He leaves very mysteriously, I'm sure. Um, we see Kreese apologizes to Johnny before Sekai Taikai. And it's like a genuine apology. Like he acknowledges what was actually wrong about the actions that he made in the original Karate Kid movie in 1984. And tells Johnny that he lost with honor, and he made him feel bad about that. And Johnny initially does not have the mental capacity and space to deal with it, so he just kind of like walks away from Kreese. And later on finds Kreese, and they have this big emotional moment where William Zabka gets to go for his For Your Consideration for an Emmy moment, where he cries and really lays into Kreese about sort of what that moment did to him and how he pushed away everybody he ever knew, and he turned into this like horrible person, all because of like that moment. Basically, he blames his entire existence as uh, you know, a dysfunctional male role model on Kreese, which is valid, but also that gives a lot of power to karate instructors. Uh, Parents, don't let your children grow up to be karate kids. Mamas, don't let your babies grow up to play karate. uh, yes, man, it's a lot of weight on this one experience, but um, he he finally gets to have it out, which is good because this is not going to be a good episode for Robbie. Silver does not play nice, and Silver's goon tells the kid basically to, to pull a fast one, and it's one where the ref. Remember, Daniel chose the ref, so this is a clean ref. He chose the venue and everything, so the only way is that they've trained this kid to do this specific move in such a way where he's able to make it look like an accident. And, like, he accidentally breaks Robbie's leg, which is kind of impressive because, like, how do you practice that? And how do you know that it worked? who were the kids that were on the lower roster of the Dragons that were they're all walking around with broken legs? They're like, yeah, oh God, he used that move. Took him a while to get it, but he was ready for it. Yeah, so Robbie ends up being unable to finish the competition, and it's funny because I knew what they were gonna do. I fucking knew what they were gonna do. I'm so happy that they did it because if you go back and watch enough of my recaps, I'm like, I feel like it should be Miguel. I feel like it should be Miguel. I feel like it should be Miguel. We started with Miguel. Miguel was the first one. I get why they're doing Robbie. He's Johnny's son. He trained in both dojos. But we started with Miguel. Miguel was the one who got Cobra Kai started again. Like, nothing was happening until Miguel needed Cobra Kai. So I was like, why isn't it Miguel? This whole time it's been bothering me. I'm like, why is Miguel not finishing the series? And we found a way. At first I thought he was going to swap. I thought they were going to say, well, Robbie's out, and then he was going to compete for Miyagi-Do. And that didn't happen. And then I was like, they kept talking about unless Cobra Kai finds a male competitor. And I was like, oh, he's going to fight for Cobra Kai with Tori. And that's absolutely what happens. Final moments, Miguel and Tori. And I was just like, yeah, this is how we get Miguel. This is how we win. Now I know who's winning this tournament. Because it feels like Miguel and Tori have both been on paths of varying character developments that would send them to win the Sekai Taikai, and for Cobra Kai to win the Sekai Taikai is sort of this, Johnny has a moment where he says, like, I need this, because, Daniel's like, I don't need this. Daniel even has like a weird moment, and I'm so curious how they did it too, like where he's attacked by the skeleton masked kids like from the original movie, and also someone shows up as Miyagi. Was it the original Miyagi? Are we hologramming in Cobra Kai? Is it someone else? I don't know. I'm intrigued. It just kind of said Miyagi, and I was like, Pat Morita, welcome back from the dead to Cobra Kai. We've done Stranger Things before. Ian Holm is like legitimately in Alien Romulus. That's a character. He has lines. You cannot say he's not in Alien Romulus, even though he died many years before Alien Romulus. He has a full-fledged character with words and dialogue. So, could it be Pat Morita? Yeah, could be. Not gonna put that past them. Didn't sound like Pat Morita, but I guess if you're running things through AI, they don't always sound 100% like the. So that was a weird segment. I was like, why are we doing this? This is interesting. But it was really about Johnny. He's like, I need this. And I was like, I just need Miguel and Tori to win. I don't care whose dojo they're fighting for. So I'm getting what I want, hopefully. I have 2 more episodes left. All they need to do is not mess it up. And I can't imagine that either one of these silver twats are going to win. Like, they're poorly developed characters. Like we saw the one guy was getting beaten, but now he just broke Robbie's leg. Are they going to let him win the male? No, Miguel's going to win, you know? And the other girl is like, I mean, Tori's back for vengeance. The other girl intentionally slept with Robbie just to piss Tori off. So, and, rise on this whole like female empowerment thing when she's very much not that. So they're two characters that you don't let win series finales of TV shows. So I think we're headed exactly to the warm, fuzzy feeling ending that we have wanted this whole time. Anyway, that's it. I'm excited moving forward. It's sad to see Robbie, but he gets to have Johnny gets to have this moment. What was great about this episode was that Johnny had this sort of like apology moment from Kreese, and it was all about how Johnny originally accepted defeat, and Kreese made him feel shitty about it. And then Johnny has this moment to go into Robbie, and Robbie is he's sort of like, he's sad, but he's also sort of at peace, but also confused. And Johnny gets to kind of help him through that. And it's just like, it was a great episode for William Zabka. The whole way through. So he had a lot of great moments that were shaped very manipulatively through the writing. I mean, I could see where we were moving. I was like, okay, so it's going to happen, and we're going to come back to that, and we're going to go over here. And as soon as Robbie broke out, I was like, Miguel's going to be in the competition. I don't know for which dojo. I mean, at the time, I didn't predict it was going to be through Cobra Kai, but I thought maybe they could just tap out somebody from the other dojo. So, yeah. Here we go. I'm giving Cobra Kai season 6, episode 13 a B. No, an A minus. I'm gonna give it an A minus. William Zabka really does carry the episode. I have no idea what's happening with the. I didn't look it up with the Miyagi stuff. I don't know. Is he? I don't know. I kind of don't want to know. Because it's kind of like when you know about Ian Holm and Alien Romulus, you're like, can we please stop doing this? Like, I'm not a huge fan of bringing people back from the dead for things they didn't agree to. Like, we're now at a point with AI where if an actor wants to sign off on it, which is, I think, kind of what James Earl Jones did. I think he did actually kind of sign off on his voice for future use as, like, Vader / Mufasa. If you want to do that, fine. Like, if you're attached to being iconically used in a character, if William Shatner says, absolutely bring me back for Star Trek whenever you want, and signs a contract that allows him to do that, I feel more comfortable with that than these actors who didn't get to decide or have family members that are later deciding because they have the rights to the entity of their grandfather. It's just like, who cares? Stop doing this. So, and with Ian Holm, I don't know that he would have done it. I don't know that Ian Holm would have said yes. I don't know that Miyagi. I don't know that I did say his name earlier, so don't look at me like that. I don't know that he would have said yes either. So do I think Carrie Fisher would have said yes to Leia? Especially given the situation, I feel like yes. Organically, I feel like Carrie Fisher would have said yes to how they used her to finish out Leia's arc in Star Wars. But otherwise, she would have come back for Star Wars if she didn't want to finish the arc. I think she knew what she was finishing, and she signed on to finish it. Now, if they go on to use it later on, that's shit she didn't agree to. But I think going into the Star Wars prequel, that's the Star Wars sequel trilogy, she knew what she was signing on to. So, yeah. We're getting into very weird territory here, and I hope we just use it right. So, thanks for watching. Thanks for subscribing. I'll see you guys on the other side.